please. So this is the circle of courage that I use in a lot of my work. And yeah, I had the opportunity of catching up with Dr. Larry Brenshaw at a foster carers conference. So it was good to get his permission to use this. He was really happy with the program that I was trying to put together. So the circle of courage, you've probably seen it. I don't know if I don't know who's out there, but you have to start on which would be the belonging aspect. So belonging is essentially the foundational building blocks. Without belonging, everything else just sort of doesn't fit. So once, you know, and it's all fluidic in nature, so it's not really stagnant and sectional and all that sort of stuff. It's very much a fluid transition. So you start off in belonging, and you sort of build that for yourself, and the next minute you realize then you've got to start doing some mastery work, whether it be emotional mastery or, you know, physical mastery. Then you go into independence, and independence here is really about, you know, independence that will serve the community. So you go off to uni, you get a qualification, then you sort of support the family or support the community with that sort of idea of independence. More sort of a shadowing effect of could be interdependence in that sense. And then there's the generosity. So once you go through that, there's that sense that you can give away your most prized possession, as Dakota Elder once said, give away your most prized possession without a fluttering of your heart. And it's sort of like, well, can I give away my big screen TV to somebody, and that won't hurt me, basically, in a modern context. And so that's where we want to sort of get the young guys to a place where they can be really out of that self-centeredness and into community focus and live life large and to the full. Alrighty, so the next slide, I think it's a breakdown on everything. So this is how we interpret and use the circle of courage. So we start off with belonging. The word encapsulates something that we all crave. We all want a sense of belonging in our lives. It's a natural thing. A place where there's unconditional love and total acceptance and peace. So we all want that for ourselves. I think it's an innate human desire. It is a place that we all know, that we know so well. We know our role and we know how to function. It is just like second nature to us. Belonging is a powerful concept. Once understood, our sense of security and identity are truly established. So you can actually spend a lot of time here with people, really, and you can just say, look, you know, I've done all we can, and set them off, and they can still journey on their own. It's not like they need a lot there, but they just need to be honest in their reflection of self. So we go to the next slide. So we look at what belonging can mean. It's attachment, it's loving, it's friendliness, it's intimacy, it's gregarious, it's cooperation and trust. So you're sort of teaching the boys and you're teaching dads that this is what you bring to the table, and it changes relationships. Once you start showing dad that it's okay to be affectionate and to regard and be regarded and develop that strong connection, immediately starts making progress in relationship, which is really, really important. So yeah, so just there. Next slide. Yep. So mastery can be skill-based. We teach our sons many things, either passively or through activity. So there's passive learning and active learning that our boys go through, like daughters. They do that. Also, mastery can be an emotional-based. Again, boys will learn through watching what you do more than what you say, in a passive way or through the experience. However you see it, mastery is about teaching, showing the way. Boys will be what they're taught to be. So again, next slide just breaks that down further. So once you start, you know, boys are very solution, or men are very solution-focused creatures. So once you start talking about, you know, success or resourcefulness, or be analytical, or be proficient and perseverance, you're talking language that we probably all could agree on and go, yep, that's what I can do. I can do that. That's tangible. That's real. And it keeps it in a realm of strength for the men. So yeah, next slide. So independence in the circle of courage, as I understand it, independence is a term used that a person can be themselves and achieve for themselves. However, it's not separate from the tribe. Modern thought would be that a young person goes to university, obtains a degree, and uses that knowledge to benefit the community. Circle of courage recognizes that we are unique individuals, but we cannot exist without community. So next slide. So again, once you start teaching independence, you're sort of teaching the young guy and dad perhaps about management and control and guidance, self-discipline, that self-control, inner control, accountability, which is really, really important. I think we lack accountability in a lot of ways when we work, especially the young boys who I work with anyway. Assertiveness, you know, get them to be really confident and speak their minds, and develop sort of a self-governance, a self-sufficiency, get that autonomy happening, which I think is really important. Yep. And I think the last one's generosity. Generosity is great, however, people only tend to get one aspect of generosity. If generosity is to be understood completely, then it's not only it is an act of giving materially, such as money, which is the most common, But the other side is ourselves. Rhetorical question might be, how much do we actually give of ourselves? So it's a challenge for dad, not just to give money to son to get out of the house and go hang out with his mates. It's actually giving of your time, making time, booking time for the son to do something that's meaningful and constructive, rather than using material possessions to get out of and shirk the responsibility, I guess, of spending that quality time that he needs. Cool. So the next slide's again a breakdown of that. So again, when you look at it, it can actually be really powerful in changing the relationship, especially when you talk about trustworthiness, dependability, and reliability, and faithfulness. That they're really strong words that can really foster really great foundations and relationships. Yeah, cool. So the next slide, I think, is question time.